Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. I am super excited about today's video because I have been dying to show you guys some new fragrances I've added into my collection. Some of these were blind buys and some of them were not. I had tested first, but all of them are wild successes. Well, except for one. There's one I'm not sure about, but mostly they're all wild successes, and I have some amazing new perfumes to share with you. Plus, I haven't had a chance to film in the last week. I have been very, very ill, so if you hear my voice and it sounds funny and stuffy, it's because I was probably the sickest I've been in a very, very long time, and I actually had to take the entire week off of work last week, and yeah, I just was not doing well, but I'm feeling much better. I'm ready to film and I'm ready to share this haul with you. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I really appreciate you being here, and to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much for all your continued support. I really appreciate you. If you're interested in seeing the new fragrances I've added into my collection, then just keep on watching. Alright, the first one I told you guys already I was going to buy. I tested this one out. I had a sample of it and fell in love. This is by the house of Tamine, and this is Peregrina. This is such a beautiful fragrance, and this one snuck up on me because when I first got that sample and tried it, I remember my first thought was, it's pretty but not full bottle worthy. Like, you know, right when I first sprayed it, I smelled it and I was like, okay, beautiful, but it's definitely not worth the price, because this is an expensive fragrance. But by the end of the night, I knew I needed a bottle of this because I'd completely changed my mind. There's something about the way this smells on the skin. There's something about the way this wafts in the air and the sillage that's around you that just got me. It is so beautiful. It is such a beautiful ambery rose fragrance with some caramel, and the way that everything is done in here, it just feels like everything is done to perfection. Like there's just the right amount of everything without it being too much, and it's just blended so well. This fragrance feels so smooth to me, and it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful fragrance. I feel like this is a really good winter to spring type of fragrance, like a good transition. This has super good performance as well. So top notes, you have rose, jasmine, gardenia, and lily of the valley. So it's mostly what I get is the rose. This is definitely a rose forward fragrance, but it's not done in a way that smells old-fashioned. It's definitely a modern take on rose. I pick up a little bit of the white florals, but it's not overpoweringly white floral. And then in the mid, you have caramel, vanilla, amber, myrrh, and Ylang Ylang. I definitely pick up on the caramel in here, but the way it's done, it smells like it's thinned out. You know, it's not like a sticky, overly sweet, toothache inducing type of caramel. It's there, but it's not like dripping sweet caramel. You know what I mean? It's really beautiful. I really love the way the caramel's done in here. I love the vanilla in here. And then in the base, you have, it just says amber, powdery notes, and white musk. I definitely pick up on that powderiness just a little bit. Again, it's not too much. There's powderiness in here, but it's not over the top to where it smells like baby powder. It's just blended to perfection in my opinion, and I really love these bottles. I think this blue bottle is beautiful. I really like the packaging of this house. I'm very interested in trying out more from this house. This is the only fragrance from the house of Tamine that I have tried so far, and so if you have any suggestions for me, let me know in the comment section. So that is by the house of Tamine Peregrina. Another very ambery fragrance. Apparently that's my thing right now. I'm into these ambery fragrances, but this is very resinous amber fragrance. I tried this one as well before I bought it. This is by the house of Maresque, and this is Seta. And I think this is one of the most beautiful resinous fragrances I have tried, but I have to warn you, this is not a safe blind buy. This is very balsamic, very resinous, and if you're not into that, then you're not gonna like this. This has myrrh in it, and it has a lot of myrrh. Like, I pick up a lot of myrrh in this fragrance. It is not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but if you like balsamic, resinous, ambery, warm fragrances, I think you might want to get your nose on it. It's definitely worth checking out. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And again, the bottles are beautiful. These bottles, look at that. It's like a piece of art. So top notes, you have saffron, lemon, and bergamot. And that lemon and bergamot that's in here, there is a citrusy aspect to this fragrance, but it's in the background. It just kind of stays in the background through the entire wear, which I really like because it's a really interesting contrast to the myrrh and the resinous type of notes that are in here. So there's like this contrast between the saffron and myrrh and then the lemon, the bergamot. There's also Ylang Ylang in here as well, which just kind of gives this fun contrast, but it's not like 50-50. It's not resinous, citrus 50-50. It's mostly resinous with just a hint of the citrus going through the fragrance, and I think it's such an interesting combination. I don't really have anything else that's like that, and I think it just fits together really well. In the base, there's vanilla, there's sandalwood, so it's very smooth and very creamy at the same time. There's amber, and I think there's also benzoin in here, so it's a little sweet but not overly sweet. You definitely get that vanilla and sandalwood, and it just feels so smooth. It's just a very sexy fragrance in my opinion. Like it's definitely date night worthy for me, but it's not overpowering. I'd say the performance of this is just moderate. It's not overly strong. It's definitely not like a beast, but it's not weak either. It's somewhere in the middle. It's very sexy. It's very smooth, almost kind of silky feeling, and I just think it smells incredible. So I am excited to wear this one for date night. I've actually already worn it for date night already since I've gotten it, and I just think that it's beautiful. I really want to try more from this house as well. This is definitely another house that I have my eye on, and I'm excited to explore more. So that is by the house of Maresque Setta. All right, this next one I am super excited to share with you guys because I about died when I got this. This was a blind buy, and it was a very successful blind buy. I love this fragrance so much. I cannot get enough of it. And this is by the house of Milano Fragranze. This is Panettone. And this is an Italian dessert, I believe. Panettone is an Italian dessert. It's like a, I'll put a picture up on the screen. I looked it up, but I've never had it before, but it's like this cakey sweet bread. It's got like, I think it has raisins in it and maybe some orange, but that's what this is supposed to smell like. Like I said, I've never had it before, but if that's what this smells like, then I definitely want to eat some because this is absolutely delicious. Top notes, you have bitter orange, ginger, and then mandarin orange. And I definitely pick up a lot of that orange in here. It's like a spiced orange though. It's like a sweet, spiced orange. I'm guessing the ginger is what makes this feel a little bit on the spicy side, but it's absolutely delicious. Like it makes my mouth water every time I smell it. It makes me hungry. It makes me want to eat like some sort of sweet bread. It's absolutely delicious, but I will say this smells very realistic to food. So if you're not into foodie gourmands, this isn't going to be your thing, but for me, it is just absolutely delicious. And then there's carrot seeds, Divana. In the middle, you do have some rum in here, and I will say this is boozy. I can definitely pick up the rum, but it's not so boozy that I feel like it's over the top. I love good boozy fragrances, but to me the rum is here, but it's not the star of the show, if that makes sense. There's some floral notes. There's Immortelle in here, which I think is the note that they use to kind of give that like bready feel. That's kind of what reminds me of like a sweet, delicious, bready kind of dessert with some sort of dried, dark fruit like raisins, and then definitely orange, like spiced orange. And oh, it's so delicious, you guys. And then in the base, you have vanilla and buckwheat, and it is just, it's so delicious. The performance is outstanding. I get really good performance out of this. It's pretty strong actually, and yeah, it's just, if you want to smell, like if you're into gourmands, you have got to try this. Like it's not a safe blind buy because it is such a realistic foodie type of fragrance, and it, you know, there are definitely certain things you have to like in order to like this. You have to like spice, you have to like ginger, you have to like that dried fruit smell. You have to like something that smells realistic foodie. You have to like boozy notes because there is rum in here. But if that's your jam, I don't know that you wouldn't like this. I just can't imagine anyone who's not into like a foodie, boozy, gourmand fragrances wouldn't like this. It smells incredible. So I can definitely see this fragrance rising up pretty high on my love list. I recently did a top 10 for life and I had just gotten this fragrance and I honestly wanted to put this in that list. But I decided not to because that's a little premature since I had just gotten the fragrance, but that's how much I love it. It is definitely up there for me. So don't be surprised if you see this in a future top 10 for life video the next time I do one. Don't be surprised. I still need to wear it some more just to know for sure, but this is really a very strong love and I think it's absolutely delicious. So that is by the house. I've never heard of this house before, Milano Fragranze, and that is Panettone. All right, a fragrance that I went through an entire decant of first is by the house of BDK, and this is Velvet Tonka. I finally got a full-size bottle. I made myself wait though, so I had this decant from Royalty Scents and I went through the entire thing and knew I had to get a bottle of Velvet Tonka because I think this smells incredible. So Velvet Tonka to me smells like marzipan, almond-y goodness, but there's also like rose oil in here and tobacco, I believe, and I don't know why, but for some reason the combination of that tobacco and rose oil that's in the mid kind of gives me this like cherry blossom vibe that I get from the fragrance. It's just slight, it's not like overpowering, but I do get this like cherry blossom-ish vibe from this fragrance. Does anybody else get that from this? I don't know if I'm the only one, but it smells so comforting. There's something so nostalgic about this fragrance for me and I cannot put my finger on what it is. So top notes, you have almond and orange blossom, and then there's the tobacco and the rose oil in the mid, and then in the base there's tonka bean, there's vanilla, amberwood, and I definitely get a lot of the tonka bean and the vanilla in the base as well. So that orange blossom and almond at the top, it's just smells like, I don't know, it kind of gives me like a marzipan, sweet almond kind of vibe. It's so comforting. It reminds me of Easter, it reminds me of springtime. I don't know what it is about that marzipan feel that just kind of reminds me of springtime and Easter, but that's what it does. And I could not be without this fragrance. I actually get really, really good performance out of this as well. I wouldn't say this is a beast or anything like that. It's definitely not going to fill up a room, but I can smell this on me all day. This has pretty good lasting power, especially if I spray it on my clothes. And it just makes me feel at home. It makes me feel at ease. It makes me feel calm. And it's just a beautiful, this would be a beautiful signature scent. Like I could see myself wearing this all year round for just about any occasion. It's not so overpowering that you couldn't wear it to like work or church or anything like that, but it's also interesting enough, you know what I mean? It's different enough that you could wear it out as well, and it's a safe fragrance, but it's not boring, if that makes sense, at least not to me. So I love this one. This is definitely a lifer for me. This is really up there for me. Like I said, I went through this entire decant and I knew I was going to have this in my collection. So that is by the house of BDK Velvet Tonka. All right, guys, the next fragrance that I'm going to talk about, I did get in PR. So this is a house I had not heard of before. This is by the house of Veronique Gabai. And they reached out to me and asked if I was interested in trying out their fragrances. And I told them the same thing that I tell everybody who reaches out to me and asks me that. Yes, I'm more than happy to try out your fragrances, but please understand if I do not like your fragrances, I'm not going to talk about it on my channel or recommend it. You know, you send me product at your own risk. Not that I'm not thankful for it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I am grateful for brands that reach out to me and want to send me things, but it doesn't mean I'm going to recommend it to you guys. So the rule is, would I spend my money on it? Okay, if I won't spend my own money on the fragrance, if I'm not interested in anything from the house, then I'm not going to recommend it to you guys. So I've had other brands send me fragrances that you guys haven't heard about, that I haven't shown you, because I personally didn't think that they were worth my money, and therefore I wasn't going to recommend it to you. However, I will say that I absolutely fell in love with this house, especially this fragrance. This is the one that I picked out. This perfume is called Souvenirs de Tunisia, is how you pronounce it, I believe. And again, this is by the house of Veronique Gabai. They are a French luxury niche house, and they have some absolutely amazing offerings. So when I got this one, the first moment that I sprayed it, I knew I loved it. I knew I loved it. Like, this was love at first sniff. In the opening, you have orange blossom, sandalwood, and neroli. And I have to say, you guys, this is probably one of the most beautiful orange blossom and neroli fragrances I think I've ever tried. It is absolutely phenomenal. And they added like sandalwood in the opening. It's so beautiful. And then they also added some almond, some watery notes, bergamot, and orange wood. And when I was on the website learning about this house, they're really big into like creating emotion. They create emotion with their fragrances, which is something that I absolutely love, because that's what I love about perfume. I love perfumes that make me feel a certain way, or make me picture that I'm doing a certain thing or I'm at a certain place. And that's what this makes me feel like. This smells like you're standing on a coast somewhere. You can definitely smell that like watery, like the watery notes that are in here. You can definitely smell almost like this sea breeze. So I can just picture myself standing like on the coast, and I can smell this, you know, sea breeze in the air with the most gorgeous orange blossom and neroli in the air. And then as I'm standing there, I can also smell, I've got some almonds, like some sweet almonds, and I've got some orange slices as well. And I'm, you know, getting ready to have this picnic with these almonds and orange slices with the florals in the air and the fresh sea breeze. And oh my gosh, you guys, I really picture myself there when I spray this fragrance. And I think it is absolutely amazing. I've worn it twice now, and both times the performance was pretty good. It wasn't like a beast fill up the room type of situation, but it definitely is present. I don't have any problems with the performance at all the couple of times I've worn it, but both times I wore this, I just absolutely loved it, and I knew that this is something I would spend my own money on. Plus, I really like the bottles. I think these bottles are really luxurious looking. I love the gold. I love the gold top. Everything about it is beautiful. The presentation is beautiful. The ingredients are beautiful. You can tell that this is high quality ingredients for sure. This is definitely a luxury niche house, and you can tell. My husband, who's, you know, not that into perfumes, but he's been trying. He's been like sniffing perfumes with me when I get them and things like that, you know, and giving me his opinion more and more lately than he ever has before. And when he smelled this and the other samples that they sent me from the house, he was like, wow, these are nice. Like, he could even tell that this was a good quality house. So I'm super impressed with this house. And I'm not going to go into detail about the other fragrances that they sent to me because they're samples that they sent. But I have 2 other ones from the house that I will personally be buying with my own money. And I'll go over all that again with you guys in another video, because I have a video coming up of me testing perfumes and letting you know what's coming up, what's going to be added into the collection. There are a few others, but I do have a couple others from this house that I just absolutely fell in love with. So I will leave a link. I think by the time I get this video, I'll have a code. I'll leave all the information in the description box. I don't remember what the code is off the top of my head, but I will leave if you're interested. I think they sent me a code for saving 10% or something like that. I'm sorry, I have been ill, okay? It's been a while since I read that email, so I'll leave all the information in the description box if you're interested in checking out this house. But this is Veronique Gabai, and this is Souvenirs de Tunisia. Alright, the last fragrance I have to share with you is the one that I'm not 100% sure about yet. I like it, but I don't love it. This is by Franck Boclet, or Boclet. I think it's Franck Boclet. It might be Boclet. I don't know. But anyway, this is Ylang Ylang. And this is a blind buy. I don't know what came over me. I don't know why I bought this. I saw it. I think I saw it somewhere for a really, really good deal, and I couldn't pass it up because it has a lot of notes that I absolutely love, and I thought for sure that I would love this. So even though the name says Ylang Ylang, what this is a caramel fragrance. This is a sticky, sweet, thick caramel fragrance. And the name of this should be caramel, not Ylang Ylang. Although there is quite a bit of Ylang Ylang in here as well. And the combination between the two is quite interesting, and I haven't quite figured out how I feel about it. So the first thing I get is caramel, followed closely by yellow florals. And sometimes Ylang Ylang can come off as kind of like a banana feel, but I'm not really getting that from here. I'm getting more of a floral, like a floral, you know, tropical floral type of situation in here. Mixed with that caramel, it's kind of odd. It's kind of an odd combination, and like I said, I don't know how I feel about it. I like it, and I think the performance is really good. I've worn this once, and I didn't notice any issues with the performance. It seemed to perform pretty well. And I have to give it more time. So I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it, but I'll let you know. Like I said, I've only worn it once so far, and I just find it really kind of different and really kind of interesting. Top notes, you have mandarin orange, there's incense, and then there's bergamot. Middle notes, there's ylang ylang, jasmine, and iris. I only get the ylang ylang. I don't pick up any iris, really. I don't really pick up on any jasmine. Just a very strong tropical yellow floral. And then a ton of caramel. There's amber, musk, and vetiver. So yeah, I can't really speak to this one too much quite yet. I'll have to give this one some more time. I'll have to report back to you and let you guys know how I feel. Let me know in the comment section if you have tried this fragrance. I've also tried, I think it's called Vanille. It's like a lime and vanilla one from Franck Boclet, and I really like that one. Just let me know if you've tried any from this house, and let me know if you've tried Ylang Ylang and what are your thoughts on it, because I find it to be a very unique and interesting fragrance. So it's a like but not a love. It might grow on me though, so I will keep you posted. Alright you guys, and that is it for today's video. Those are the fragrances I've added into my collection, and I want to know if you've tried any of these and what are your thoughts on them. Again, I will leave the information for Veronique, Gabai in the description box. Please check them out. I do really feel like they are a house that deserves some attention. I don't hear a lot of people talking about them, and I think they have some absolutely amazing offerings with really high quality luxury niche fragrances, and they deserve to be talked about. No, this video is not sponsored. They did not ask me to say any of that. That is my own personal opinion. I just get excited when I find a new house that I absolutely love, and I want to share with you because I would definitely purchase their fragrances with my own money, and I will be purchasing their fragrances with my own money. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave me your opinions about these fragrances in the comment section. I think that's super helpful for other people who are watching, trying to decide how they feel about certain fragrances. Your opinions are important, so please leave them in the description box. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you did find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody's having an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!